Welcome back to another episode of Hoop Rants. And today's episode is going to be very controversial. Because what I'm going to say is going to probably either piss a lot of people off or they're going to open their minds up and actually really listen to what my argument has to say. All right, are you ready? Steph Curry isn't a point guard, and he for sure is not the greatest point guard of all time. And by definition, a point guard's primary job, is to facilitate scoring opportunities for the team and sometimes for themselves. Leon Rose has described the point guard as a coach on the floor who can handle and distribute the ball to teammates. This typically involves setting up plays on the court, getting the ball to teammates in the best position to score, and controlling the tempo of the game. Generally, a point guard should always look out for teammates and have the ability to pass well. A point guard should know when and how to initiate a fast break, initiate more deliberate sets. Point guards are expected to be vocal leaders with situational awareness of the shot clock, game clock, and the score, and the number of remaining timeouts for both ends or more. So when we think about that, since I clarified it with the definition, Steph Curry, that's not his responsibility, and I get it. Within the offense that he runs, that he's actually in, Steve Kerr isn't relying on him to be the guy that sets everybody up. That's not his responsibility. That's not his job. His job is to literally just score, get his hands dirty on defense, and occasionally help with rebounding. Now, with Steph, if you look at his career averages and assists, it's at 6.4. Does he get up over 5 assists a game? You're absolutely correct. But would I put him as one of the greatest point guards of all time? Absolutely not. He's nowhere near it. Actually, if we're being technical, with his career average assists per game, all time, he doesn't even rank in the top 25 in assists per game. If we want to be even more technical, he doesn't even rank in the top 25 of assists all time. He's nowhere near it. And yes, to me, assists are a great barometer for a point guard. It's literally the one stat that separates you from a shooting guard or a wing, or from a wing or a big. That's your one job. Your one job is to get the ball to other people to have the ability to score. For me, especially in this generation, a true point guard would have been Rajon Rondo or CP3, even Darren Williams back in the day. Yeah, did those guys score a little bit? Sure, especially heavy on Darren Williams and maybe CP3. But their primary jobs were to get the people open that had other opportunities to score. Those are true point guards. If we want to go back a little bit further, let's go to Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. Those were point guards. They set the tempo for their team to get the other teammates involved. True point guards make the teammates around them better or mask whatever flaws that they may have. But let's actually go back and look at the 2000, 2001, 2002, or the 2000, 2003 New Jersey Nets teams. There were no bona fide scoring machines on those teams. Jason Kidd make those guys look superior than the eye actually met. Richard Jefferson looked phenomenal. Lucius Harris looked phenomenal playing alongside Jason Kidd. Kenyon Martin had some of the best years of his career playing alongside Jason Kidd. Heck, let's even go back 04, 05. Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash when he first got back. He made Joe Johnson, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire, and Quentin Richardson at the time all look like all-stars. Granted, a lot of those guys did go on to make all-star teams, but Steve Nash was the motor. We're getting these guys open looks. Joe Johnson went on and got paid from the Atlanta Hawks. Quentin Richardson, and I don't know if he left or got traded to the New York Knicks, but they careers weren't. I mean, outside maybe Joe Johnson, their careers weren't as bountiful as it was when they had Steve Nash. Steve Nash set the table for these guys to look marvelous. Even if you want to go back, let's go back a little bit further. Let's go back to Isaiah Thomas, Pistons Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons Isaiah Thomas. Let's get that correct. Was that Detroit Pistons team that good without him? There's a lot of people that would vouch and say no, they weren't. They weren't that great of a team without him. He was the engine that made that team go. Don't get me wrong. Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer, Vinnie Johnson, Mark Aguirre at the time, Dennis Rodman. Those guys were great pieces. Don't get me wrong. But Isaiah made that team go. That's all I'm saying. You want to go? Let's keep going back a little bit further. Let's go to the Utah Jazz's teams. 96, 97, and the 97 and 98 teams. Who was the catalyst for that? Now, I'm going to kick myself in my own butt by saying this, but technically Karl Malone was the catalyst. But who made the game easier for Karl Malone to score and get those MVPs? John Stockton was. He made the game very much so easier for Karl to be able to get those pick and roll scores, to find him on the post, to do the things that he needed to do in order to get those shots off. He made it very easy for him to do those things to get those shots off. And then the ultimate point guard of all time, to me personally, will be Magic Johnson. And this is where I have to say, this is the greatest point guard of all time. Is it Steph? Isn't Russell Westbrook or anybody else that's in this new generation? It literally is this guy. To be a 6'9" point guard, it's already an anomaly in itself. And I think people like Ben Simmons have tried to, to mirror it and just wasn't as successful. But he's an anomaly. Usually a guy that's 6'9", who's probably 230, 240 pounds, is gonna be in the post somewhere, throwing up hook shots and getting rebounds. That wasn't Earvin Magic Johnson's game. His game was, I can run this floor, I'm quick enough, I'm big enough, and I have the court vision to get everybody involved. Hell, let's even look back at the 92 Dream Team. Everybody said the astounding MVP of that team was Magic Johnson. He found everybody. His ability to have court vision to find everybody on the floor, spectacular. That's the greatest point guard of all time, not Steph Curry. Again, going back to some of my original points. Again, Steph isn't even top 25 all time in total assists. He's not even top 25. Let that sink in. He's not even a top 25 in assists per game of all time. He's not even a top 25 in that. He honestly isn't even the best point guard on his team. Draymond is essentially the point guard of that team. People are gonna probably beat me up and say, well, that's not the argument I'm making. What I'm trying to say is that Steph is a great player. Always and forever be. If you want to put him in whatever ranking, sure. He's the greatest shooter of all time. He's probably one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's probably one of the clutchest players of all time. There's so many other categories you can put him in. But being a point guard, I think we might have to sit this one out. Don't get me wrong, I love Steph, and this is no knock to him. But I have to be objective, especially as a scout. I've never really seen him be a true point guard ever in his career, and there's no knock to him. That's enough for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any suggestions. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I'm going to start dropping more videos once a week again. I'm going to get back to the grind, everybody. Sorry for the hiatus, but we're back and better than ever. Who Film Study is going to make as many ways as we possibly can, but we need your help. You got to smash that button. I need you guys to comment, and I'm going to produce as much content as I can for the rest of the year. So until next time, guys, take care.